What's going on, Phins fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here to do my recap video for this Tennessee game. Um, Obviously, we all know what happened. Disappointing loss. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So I'm gonna pull this up, and obviously. The game ends. Final score is 28-27. Titans win. They move to 5-8. Dolphins drop to 9-4. It is what it is. It's unfortunate and shit happens. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't like to show the stats on the online version on my computer or on a computer immediately after the game. I guess it maybe takes a minute. So I'm just going to give you the stats off my phone. Real quick. So I'm just going to run through those. Let's see. Team stats really quick. Miami had 366 yards. Tennessee had 403. Passing yards, Miami had 208. Tennessee had 320. Miami had 158 rushing. They had 83. We had 5 yards per play. They were at 6. We had 1 lost fumble. They had 2. Tennessee threw the 1 interception. We didn't have any. We were 30% on third down. They were 38. We had the ball for 32-24. They had it 27-36. We had 7 penalties. They had 9. Let's see. Dolphins. Tua was 23 of 33 for 240. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Mostert was 21 rushes, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 4.6 average. Achan was 7 rushes for 47, 6.7 average, and Tua had 3 for 15. Let's see, receiving, Waddle was 6 of 8 for 79. Tyreek was 4 of 5 for 61. Said Wilson 2 of 4 for 30. Achan 5 of 9 for 24. Smythe 2 of 3 for 16. Barrios 2 of 2 for 13. And Ingold 1 for 13 as well. Let's see. Tua was the one that lost the fumble for the Dolphins. Brandon Jones forced a fumble. Let's see. Zach Sealer had the interception and a touchdown. Obviously, he also had a pass defense. Howard had 3. Ramsey had 1. Emmanuel Ogbah had a pass defense. Deshaun Hand had 1. Bradley Chubb had 1. Brandon Jones had 1. And Kader Kohu had 1. There was 10 total. Let's see. We had 1 sack, only 1 sack. We got close a ton of times. But Will Levis, you got to give some credit to him too. Sanders was 2 of 3 on his field goals, long of 31. 3 of 3 on his extra points. And that's really all that for that. Now Tennessee, we go over. Levis was 23 of 38 for 327, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Derrick Henry was 17 for 34 yards, but 2 touchdowns. With a 2 average. There were a lot of good things, from the defensive side of the ball, but obviously there were also breakdowns. We'll get into more of that in a minute. Tajee Spears had 7 rushes for 29 yards. Will Levis 4 for 15. DeAndre Hopkins led the way there for 7 receptions, a $124 and a touchdown. Tajee Spears 6 for 89. Okonkwo had 5 for 46. Westbrook Akine, 2 for 28. Chris Moore, 1 for 22. Derrick Henry, 1 for 17. Let's see. Let's see. Whatever. I don't. They had 5 sacks. Okay, so that really. There you go. That's really all the stats that you really need. So here's what it is. And I know everybody's gonna freak out. And obviously, this is a shitty loss. It's a game we absolutely should have won. It's the first, and it was at home. It's the first time all season that the Dolphins lost a game that they shouldn't have lost, right? And, it is what it is, right? This is the NFL. Sometimes that happens. It is what it is. It sucks. We're going to have to sit on this for a week. It is what it is. And, next week we have the Jets coming in off of a really good win for them. We're going to be coming off of a tough loss. It's going to be a home game again for us. But listen, it's okay. And now we drop 1 behind the Ravens as of right now. But look, and we'll get more into this tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Tuesdays. Yeah. So we'll get into this more tomorrow when I do my playoff predictor video. There is still a chance that the Dolphins can get the number 1 seed. It's definitely going to be harder now, and at this point, they have to win out. It's basically Dolphins have to win out. So it's going to be tough, but it is still doable. Anyway, more of that for later. Let's get to this game. So at the end of the day, here's what it was. I mean, right off the bat, injuries, right? Now, I'm not saying that as if it's like an excuse. It was definitely a factor, although most of our guys did end up coming back into the game. The one exception was Connor Williams, right? Because there were a number of guys for the Titans too. I mean, there were just injuries all over the place. And so it was super unfortunate. Now, for the Dolphins, there were 5 injuries. I'm just reporting to you, again, I'm not saying that it definitely played a factor in the game. It wasn't necessarily the deciding factor, but it definitely screwed a lot of things up, right? Because there were injuries to key players. So the 5 players that got injured for the Dolphins were Tyreek Hill, Connor Williams, Xavier Howard, Deshaun Elliott, and Xavier Howard, Tyreek Hill, Connor Williams, Deshaun Elliott. Who the fuck is the 5th one? Now I'm blanking. God damn it. That's going to really fucking bug me. But anyway, you guys get the point. I'm going to try and look it up as I continue on. But so there were a number of injuries, and that obviously it was a factor, but it wasn't necessarily the deciding factor. You feel me? So, because there was some good moments in this game. And look, the difference between a win and a loss is definitely huge, right? If the Dolphins would have won, I was going to come on here and be like, hell yeah, the Dolphins won a gritty game. And it was gritty, it was ugly, and they definitely showed some fight. They definitely showed a lot of perseverance. Those things are still true, right? Even in the loss, those things are definitely still true. They showed some perseverance. The early struggles especially, they were able to overcome things. In the first half, there were just an ungodly amount of injuries just all over the place. It was rough. And that really set the tone. You know what I'm saying? The early injuries just kind of set the tone for this Dolphins team and the game in general, right? And then obviously there was the when Liam Eichenberg had to go in at center after Connor Williams comes out, there was the bad snap exchange that led to the fumble. Dolphins were in the red zone at that point. That took away at least 3 points, if not 7. You feel me? Now, I mean, the Dolphins got back into it. There was the muffed punt. They ended up getting points there. Then there was the muffed exchange between Levis and Derrick Henry, get points there, up 2 scores, and they did blow it. I mean, there were breakdowns on defense. It was rough. It was a tough game, but look, it's okay. That's life, man. That's life. And honestly, I don't really know what else to say. Because what else can you say? You just got to be real. You just got to keep it 100%. I mean, there were a couple penalties. There weren't a ton, but there were some. That last one at the end was fucking weird to me, though. The defensive delay of game, that one was definitely some bullshit, though. Not that I'm blaming that. That definitely wasn't the overall reason for the outcome of the game, but it was at the very end of the game, and that was right before the Derrick Henry rushing touchdown that gave them the lead. You feel me? And it was just stupid because it was just a normal shift from the Dolphins defensive line, and it should have been an offensive false start setting them back 5 yards, but then they're like defensive delay of game, and that's another thing too. I just don't even understand what that means. How is the Dolphins defensive line doing a very routine shift that they do on basically every fucking play? How is that a delay of game? Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it was just, but besides that, there were obviously 7 penalties on the Dolphins, so there were a few, and so, look, it was, okay, 7 penalties overall, including that weird one, whatever. There's the turnover in the red zone. There was mistakes. There was injuries. There was breakdowns in the defense, especially late in the game. I mean, it was just a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. And look, we just got to take it on the chin. It is what it is. That's life. That's life in the NFL. And we got to get guys healthy, especially for this upcoming stretch. And look, at this point, I think the one real downside of this loss overall, because in the grand scheme of things, we're still 9-4. We're still at the top of the division, and we're still in a damn good spot, okay? Next week is still a game that we should win in, okay? It's a home game against the Jets. They got a tough defense. It's not going to be a walk in the park. And obviously, after this, but look, and who knows how this plays out. This could, giving you a silver lining here, this could turn out to be a good thing if they get humbled in this game at home. They take that shit on the chin. They get guys fucking healthy or as healthy as they can be, and they just come out and fucking roll the next few weeks. You feel me? Next week, it is a bit of a short week, obviously, so that's also kind of unfortunate because of these injuries. Although, again, pretty much everybody ended up coming back in with the one exception of Connor Williams. Who knows how long that's going to be? We're not going to get more information until later the week. He was the one guy that sat out indefinitely after his injury. He was in street clothes, and there was a brace on his knee. So we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But anyway, we're still in all right position. Hopefully they learn from this. Hopefully they clean things up. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination. Dolphins can still, control their destiny for the most part. And the fact of the matter is it's going to be tough. But if they can manage to, like I said, if they take this and they take this as a humbling and they really grind and get to work, they get the win next week, beat Dallas at home, go on the road and beat Baltimore in Baltimore, and then come back home and beat the Bills, you'll silence all narratives. We'll be able to forget about this Tennessee loss, and we can still win the motherfucking win. We can still get the number 1 seed and obviously win the division. So it's not over yet. It's a tough loss. It really sucks, but we just got to take it on the chin for the next week. And it is what it is. We just got to look for Dolphins fans. For us, since this does suck, and this is not what we wanted, and it's disappointing, we can just go ahead and turn the page. In the same way that fans are able to look ahead to next week and the week after and so on and so forth, since we're not the players or the coaches that are in the building and playing on Sundays or Mondays or Thursdays or whatever, we're also allowed to be like, you know what? This shit sucked. By the way, I did a fair amount of screaming, so probably going to have a sore, hoarse voice tomorrow. I'm probably going to be going to sleep early tonight, too, because I'm supposed to have a meeting tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. So hopefully that still goes down because, tomorrow I'm supposed to have a meeting with the Roundtable Sports guys, and it would just be a dream to get a job there because it's really what I want to do with my life and everything. And I could use it for one, but it would just be a dream to be able to get into the field that I want to get to and start building something there so I can build my life and my career on that. But anyway, we can turn the page and we can just be like, you know what, fuck it. We ain't even going to think about it. We're going to move on to the Jets right now, and we're just going to take it on the fucking chin and keep it going. And look, don't watch any shows. If it's going to be too hard to hear what the motherfucking narratives are going to be about this team and so on and so forth, and the pundits on this show or that show, if it's going to be too much for you, if you want to preserve yourself and your mental health, just don't watch it. Don't pay attention to it, and let's just keep it fucking moving. Everything is okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to keep this shit going. Next week, we're going to get the win, 10-4, and we're going to be okay. All right? Let's get up out of here. Again, I know it's rough. It sucks, but we're going to be just fine. Phins fans, keep your head up. Phins up all day, every day. Let's go.
Miami wins it.